More over here at HTM Sports. How is everybody doing, man? How is everybody doing? So, man, I wasn't even planning on going live right now. I was over here watching the Chiefs and this Bengals play. I just watched the Eagles game, and I got this breaking news on. Just looking at social media. So apparently, the Dallas Cowboys are moving on from Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore and the Cowboys have mutually agreed to part ways. Mike McCarthy is going to take over as the play caller going forward. So I'm actually surprised by this. Hey, Lamont, I know, man. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Kellen Moore is gone. We will not see 100 curl routes anymore. No, we will not see all this other stuff happening. So right now, the Dallas Cowboys have moved on from Kellen Moore, and as it stands right now, they are going to let Mike McCarthy call his own plays. This is something that I did not expect. A lot of us expected for Kellen Moore to come back another year once he did not get hired on as a head coach anywhere. The Cowboys really did like Kellen Moore. They put up with him for the last 4 years. They allowed him to get the job with no experience. He's been doing on-the-job training for the last 4 years. And, I think they finally decided it was time. I think they looked around and they seen the play calling of the 49ers, the play calling of the Eagles, who advanced to their second Super Bowl in the last 5 years, 6 years, however many years. They think they needed an upgrade in that area. Hey, Dizzy Dream, what's good with you, man? What's good with y'all? So yeah, so I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've been calling for his head for a long time. I've been calling for Kellen Moore to get put out. Mike better scheme these boys open. He better run it. Well, this is the thing. Like Mike McCarthy, before he got this label as being like a guy with bad clock management and stuff. Like back in the day, Mike McCarthy was considered like a quarterback savant, right? You look at the names of the quarterbacks that he had the privilege to coach. Mike McCarthy was a quarterbacks coach for Joe Montana. He helped develop Joe Montana. Right, he was the offensive coordinator for Brett Favre. He helped him develop. Brett Favre had some of his best seasons in Mike McCarthy's offense, and then he was the guy that developed Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. He had Aaron Rodgers from his rookie season. He was the quarterback that Aaron Rodgers went to his only Super Bowl with. So, like Mike McCarthy has done a lot to develop quarterbacks in the past, and giving Mike McCarthy back over to play calling, having Mike McCarthy run a system that he actually likes. They can pay dividends for Dak Prescott. Because if you look at Dak Prescott inside of Kellen Moore's offense, like his turnovers have went up, right? This year, Dak Prescott had the most turnovers he's ever had in his career, right? And since he's been in Kellen Moore's offense, he's had double-digit interceptions every single year he's been in Kellen Moore's offense. And, that is not typically Dak Prescott's calling card. The 3 seasons before Kellen Moore got here, Dak Prescott, he would average about 29 touchdowns. He would have double-digit turnovers, and we would win games. Dak Prescott is a guy who I feel has taken a step back underneath Kellen Moore. Like Dak Prescott has not made any Pro Bowl selections in Kellen Moore's offense. He has not made any All-Pro selections, anything in Kellen Moore's offense. So, like, if there's anybody that might have been hurt by this, by Kellen Moore being the play caller, I think it's Dak Prescott. Now, you can argue that because his attempts are up, he has much more yardage, he has more passing touchdowns and things like that. But like his efficiency numbers, his total turnovers and everything else like that have been up since Kellen Moore's been the offensive coordinator. So, I think by making this move, you might have saved Dak Prescott. I think like by making this move and letting Dak Prescott play in Mike McCarthy's offense as opposed to Kellen Moore's, you might have saved Dak Prescott. Because a lot of the fan base had wanted to move on from Dak, after this season. And this is a rough season for Dak. I'm not going to make any. Well, hey, Gary Murphy, what's good with you, man? I appreciate you for tapping in with me. Yeah, I'm not going to make any excuses for Dak Prescott. He had a rough year, but I think for what we've seen from Dak Prescott in the past, like we can get him back to being, a better quarterback. Like we seen Dak Prescott blossom and flourish, in Scott Linehan's offense. right? You can say what you want about Scott Linehan's offense, but Dak Prescott was still averaging about 29, 28 touchdowns a year. He had very low turnover numbers. We had a 2-to-1 win ratio. So, like, I think that you can get a lot more out of Dak Prescott because all these option routes, all these curls, all these other things that they call in Kellen Moore's offense really did not suit who Dak Prescott is. Right? Dak Prescott is not a quarterback that needs to throw the ball, a large number of times to be effective. Like he's still a big guy. He's mobile. He can throw well on the move. Finally, yeah, Martin talks Cowboys. Yes, thank God. Like we finally got what we asked for. Mike McCarthy's going to call the plays, and I'm fine with it. Like for all the people that were down about McCarthy as a play caller, like they were still winning games in Green Bay. They were still successful. They were still making playoffs. They were still making NFC championship games. Like the relationship between Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers soured. So Aaron Rodgers, pretty much threw him under the bus. But truthfully, like Aaron Rodgers still is not achieving anything without Mike McCarthy. Like Mike McCarthy is the guy that got us to double-digit wins and a playoff berth, while Aaron Rodgers and them sat home this postseason. So like a lot of this stuff about Mike McCarthy being considered, his scheme being considered outdated and stuff came from Aaron Rodgers, who always throws his coaches under the bus when things don't go his way, who always throws his receivers under the bus when things don't go their way. Hoodlum, what's up, man? I'm glad you tapped in with me, man. Yeah, man. I wasn't even planning on going live. I wasn't planning on doing anything today, man. Like, I was just gonna watch some football, critique some stuff, just enjoy the games. But then, we had this breaking news, this Cowboys related. Like, I guess enough was enough for them. So, how do y'all feel though? Like, I'm actually happy that Mike McCarthy gets to call this offense, because if he does, because I do think they'll eventually put. I think they'll put an offensive coordinator in place, but I don't think it'll be an offensive coordinator. No, it'll just be an offensive coordinator in name. He'll be somebody that helps with the development of the offense. It'll be somebody that help him with in the day-to-day things, installs, things like that. But I'm happy that Mike McCarthy, gets to go down with the ship. Like, and this is really how they should have had it with Jason Garrett. I think Mike McCarthy really has more power in Dallas than Jason Garrett did. Because when Jason Garrett wanted to call his own plays, they told him no, and they sent him back out there with Kellen Moore. So Mike McCarthy, he earned the front office's respect enough to pull a move like this. Like, and listen, Mike McCarthy has been vocal all season about not liking Kellen Moore's offense. Like he was doing interviews talking about how he didn't like all those option routes in his system. He didn't like these certain concepts in his system. He didn't like that we weren't targeting our best players consistently in Kellen Moore's system. So, Mike McCarthy got his wish. He's been campaigning for a change, and he finally got it. He got what he asked for. So, it's all on Mike McCarthy at this point. Like, because Kellen Moore has been the whipping boy, up to this point. Not to say that it wasn't, it wasn't well deserved. It was very well deserved, the criticism that Kellen Moore got. But now that Kellen Moore is gone, now that Mike McCarthy is going to be calling his own plays, it's going to be up to him to prove that they made the right decision moving forward. It's going to be up to them at this point. Because, yeah, man, so if y'all are late coming in, Kellen Moore has officially been fired. Mike McCarthy is going to be the play caller going forward. And, I'm going to keep looking to see if there's any more updates about anything. This is something that just happened. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any more news coming out. So I see that any more news coming out about this, because it's something that just happened. Yeah, I keep seeing the same thing. So no new updates yet. So we know that Mike McCarthy is going to be the play caller now. So who do y'all want to act as the offensive coordinator? Because the guy that's going to come in as an offensive coordinator is basically going to be a glorified quarterbacks coach at this point. He's going to be somebody that's going to help Mike McCarthy in the day-to-day operation of the offense, film study, maybe help him with install. But, it's going to be up to Mike McCarthy what plays get called. So we'll see. We will see how this works out. I'm excited, though. I am excited. This is some of the best news that we had in a long time. And listen, he was not I'm mad as fuck, man. How the fuck the Eagles keep going to the bowl and we keep coming up short? Man, listen, the Eagles got an offensive coordinator that's been playing to the strengths of their quarterback. Like when you look at the final results, Jalen Hurts did not have a great game, right? He passed for 121 yards. He threw no passing touchdowns. He threw no interceptions, and he had a 1-yard rush for touchdowns. So it's not like Jalen Hurts went out there and played like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. It's not like he had to have an elite game to win. But because they play caller knows the limitations of their offense, they know the strengths of their quarterback, they know what they're good at. They were able to come out with a game plan that did not allow Jalen Hurts to throw the game away. They play great defense, they play great complementary football, and they move forward. So I hate that the Eagles won, but they won the right way. You gotta just respect what they did. They went out there with a game plan to make their quarterback look good, and they did that. That's why I'm happy that Kellen Moore is gone. Kellen Moore has a track record of calling, calling high volume pass plays regardless of who the quarterback is. That's why Garrett Gilbert, who was a damn Arena League player, came in his first start and threw the ball 38 times, right? That's why Ben DiNucci, who was a 7th-round pick, threw the ball 40 times on the road in his first start. That is why Andy Dalton, who was out of football the year before and came in as our backup, threw the ball 40 times in his first ever start as a Dallas Cowboy. That's why Dak Prescott, who had an AC joint injury, threw the ball 40-plus times on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. Kellen Moore does not call plays for the benefit of his quarterback. He called plays that he's comfortable with. He comes from that Boise offense that wants to throw the ball all around the yard. And, that's what he does as a play caller. That's how he knows how to play football. He was successful doing it in college. But, that's how he called plays. Regardless of what's going on, right, he likes to throw the ball. It was not until Mike McCarthy came in and put pressure on him to run the ball that we saw this improvement in our run game, right? Because we had a good rushing offense number-wise last year, and we had a good rushing offense number-wise this year. But, when somebody doesn't really want to do something, you can only force them to do it for so long, right? So that's why you're seeing where things got a little shaky in the run game. We went away from it. That happened last year. It happened this year. So, I think it was the right move. Big Bug Cowboy. Yes, thank you, Lord. So right now, Mike McCarthy is the play caller. So I want to see, who he brings in to assist him. I want to know if he's going to get a run game coordinator to help him. I want to know who his OC is going to be, who's going to carry that title and help him, in the day-to-day activities of the offense. But it's the right thing. You can't get rid of your quarterback, and Mike McCarthy has performed, above expectations. So you can't get rid of your quarterback. You can't get rid of your head coach. This was the best move to make. You fired all these other coaches, and you got to remember, Kellen Moore was not Mike McCarthy's first choice anyway. Kellen Moore was a remnant of an old regime that they left over there. So Kellen Moore, he can go somewhere else to be an offensive play caller. I'm sure he'll find a way to get on somebody's team as an OC, because he could take those numbers somewhere and campaign for a job as an offensive coordinator. But what he cannot do is put the performances that he had in the playoffs on film and go somewhere and expect to get a head coaching job. I think that he's still a pretty damn good offensive coordinator. He just does not suit what the hell we want to do. he needs to go somewhere where they have a quarterback that's a great pocket passer. Like that's not Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a mobile quarterback. He performs well outside of the pocket. He can still run. You know, he's explosive. That's Dak Prescott. This guy they want to turn into a pocket passer. That's not him. That is not him. So you know, hopefully this helps Dak Prescott get back on track. He's he had some good years number wise in Kellermore's system, but like it's the turnovers. Like he's throwing the ball so much, he is required to put the ball in harm's way all the time. So hopefully this is what's going to get Dak Prescott back on track, and hopefully this is a move that can get us over the top. Because remember, even if in that 49ers game, like I know that Dak Prescott did not play well, but better play calling gets us a win. Because remember, on that second interception that Dak Prescott threw, it was on a 2nd and 2 in the red zone. Theoretically, we had 3 plays to get 2 yards, and instead of playing the long game and trying to milk some of the clock and try to double up, because listen, they were bad situational play calling anyway. We had all our timeouts. We get the ball to start the second half, and we were already in the red zone. There was no reason that we should not have run the ball in that scenario, because you're really playing for a score and the opportunity to double up. And instead of doing that, like we threw it on second and 2, we got an interception. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't wish ill will on anybody. Like I hope that Kellen Moore has a bright future wherever he goes. But he is just not the guy for the Dallas Cowboys. And listen, the fact that we were able to move off of Kellen Moore, it just shows me that they are serious. Like they are serious about trying to be competitive. It's still sad the Cowboys let Hurst get to the Super Bowl before Dak. They didn't get Dak any help. Yeah, like the Dallas Cowboys diminished a playoff roster last year by not retaining Amari Cooper or Cedric Wilson. So, we actually overachieved, if we're being honest. Like, this is a less talented team than the one that went to the playoffs last year, and we went farther than that team from last year. So we overachieved. We had a first-place schedule this year. We had an injury to our quarterback on his throwing hand. We had an injury to Terrence Steele that we lost him. We lost Anthony Brown. And then we did very little to improve our wide receiving core. We tried to put some stuff together on the fly, and we still blew out Tom Brady in a road game. And, we still only lost a single possession game to the number 2 seed on the road. So we really had, if we're being honest, we had a damn good season considering the circumstances. But, I'm tired of just having damn good seasons. I want to do what the Eagles have done and be competent. I want to go to the Super Bowl multiple times. Like I have a need to see that. Like we have not been competitive my adult life. Like my adult life, yeah, I got to witness the Super Bowls when I was a child. But in my adult life, we have not been competitive. And I need that. I need to get that feeling again. Now I'm DC4L for life, but man, seeing these other teams be competitive and play in Super Bowls and it's hard. Like, man, like we've seen 2 teams from our own division go to multiple Super Bowls, since the last time we won one. So that's hard. That's hard to see. But hopefully this gets us back on track, man. Hopefully this gets us back on track. So again, like now that we know that Kellen Moore is out, we're gonna see who they bring in. Remember, Schottenheimer was a guy that there were whispers about. Schottenheimer, who was already on our coaching staff as a coaching analyst, is somebody that could possibly come in and be offensive coordinator for us. Then they were talks about other guys. Byron Leftwich is on the market. Really, I think they'll bring in somebody that calls West Coast style offense. That's what Mike McCarthy is going to call anyway. So I think he'll bring in somebody that fits that mold, that does things along those lines. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully, they get it together. Hopefully, this is the move that we need to make to get the ball rolling. But yeah, man, it's a shocker to me. I didn't expect to hear this. The moment that they didn't call, make a decision yesterday or make a decision Friday, I actually thought that they were going to lean towards keeping Kellen Moore. But they surprised me. Like, I don't think anybody saw Kellen Moore not surviving this. Keep up the good work, young man. This is a big day for me because Mike got his shot to do what he wants. Hey, I know. Like, and listen, like, this is a step in the right direction. Like, Jerry Jones pretty much gave Big Mike his vote of confidence. He told Big Mike personally that he wants him to coach, as long as Tom Landry. And Tom Landry, he was the coach for almost 30 years. So, like, I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to coach that long for us, of course. But that was just Jerry's way of saying that this is his team. I think he gave him the ultimate vote of confidence to make this move. So, the fact that he was able to make this move and have Jerry Jones' blessing when we all know how he feels about Kellen Moore, like, that says a lot. I think that Mike McCarthy, finally has the power that he wants in this Dallas Cowboys organization. And we'll see if this is enough, but I'm damn happy about it. I'm damn happy about it. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get on here and get that off my chest. Right? I just wanted to get on here and get that off my chest. And Big Mike, we trust. Yeah, you got to have trust in Big Mike McCarthy, man. Like, he's the guy with the pedigree. And look, I know a lot of people wanted Sean Payton. They expected us to give up draft capital for Sean Payton. Big Mike McCarthy that won a Super Bowl more recently than he did, because Sean Payton hasn't won a Super Bowl since I was in high school. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl when I was in college, so that's how I remember that shit so easily. Because I put money on the Saints actually against my homeboy. We had fifth period together. He paid up too. But yeah, man. So I just had to get on and report on that, man. Like, we had a bunch of, yeah. There is a guide, man. There is a guide. But yeah, man. I just had to get on here, share my thoughts about that real quick. Kellen Moore is out. We're gonna see what moves that they make going forward. And, once more information is made available, then I will go back live. But yeah, this is just a quick impromptu. Had to report on this type of deal. But I will probably be back on later on tonight, man. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to content. Trying to build this up to 1,000 subscribers so we can get monetized and we can invest back into the show. But yeah, man, Kellen Moore is done in Dallas. Mike McCarthy is currently going to act as the play caller. The heir apparent to the offensive coordinator position has not been named yet. So if any news become available, I will go back live and report on it. But until then, man, y'all take it easy, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.